Al Mac FPV says, do you think it would be possible for the devs at WTFOS to hack the Vista to allow for use with any multi-protocol control link? I don't think that's possible. I mean, in theory, many things are possible. Like, does the Vista have 2.4 gigahertz radio in it?
No.
The O3 does. The Vista does not.
Well, at least the Ariana didn't have the actual SDRs on it, and were missing. So I think that's the same for the Vista.
Yeah, so no, because the multi-protocol control links, not that you would want to use those anyway, you would want to use a long-range control link, but anyway, the multi-protocol control links are all 2.4 gigahertz. The Vista does not have a 2.4 gig radio in it, as far as we know. Therefore, there's no amount of firmware shenanigans that would make that work. Good question, though. 1507 motors, too much for a sub 250 3.5-inch freestyle build. No, I don't think they're too much. I've seen some 3.5-inch builds with like 16 millimeter motors. I think that especially if you're going sub 250 though, you're going to want to be down in the 1404 to 1406 size. That 1507s are probably going to make it a lot harder for you to hit that sub 250 target. But, you know, many things are possible. I'm not saying you can't do it. That's bigger than I think most people would pick for a 3.5-inch sub 250. Any thoughts about the Fractal Wingman? Thank you for a $2 super chat. Rem Thompson's maker shit. Yeah, Fractal. Which one is the Fractal Wingman? Fractal makes good stuff. Oh, yeah. Well, so this is one of those 18650 quads where you slap in. Does he have an example of it with the battery in it? I don't see an example of it. Where you slap in an 18650 cell and you take it out and you fly it. And the advantage of this type of quad is that there's no like, oh, I got to charge my lipos or anything. It's just you plug in a battery, just like plug it in a AA, and then you fly it around. Does he have any third-party shots? But no, it's just a flight. Darn, I really wanted to see somebody put the damn battery in it. It's cute that it folds up. Show me. You sons of bitches. Hi, I have a quadcopter. It is a new cool thing. What does it do? You can put an 18650 battery in it and fly it. Are you going to put any pictures of it doing the single coolest thing that it does on your website? Nah, I don't think I'd do that. I thought I'd just let you imagine it. Okay, the arms also fold. That's also cool. The second coolest thing it does. Oh, here it is. Yeah, and now what I want you to do is I just want you to imagine that there's an 18650 in there. What do I think about the Fractal Wingman? These 18650 quads often don't fly great because the battery just doesn't provide enough power to handle the weight of the quad. If anyone can engineer an ultra light quad like this that can do it, then Fractal can. The other problem I've had is that when you crash, the battery ejects and then it's not powered up, and they tend to break easily. So if you desperately want a tiny foldable quad that takes an 18650, this is probably one of the best ones. But that's a really specific thing for you to want, you know? And I haven't flown this one, but I've flown 2 or 3 others, and in general, I've been underwhelmed by them. So, there we go. I believe it's a 3-inch is the prop size. Samuel Polden, thanks for $1 Australian. And 5 more Australian dollars. Good 4-inch racing frame to replace my Beta FPV Twig mutant frame. Don't really want to have to extend my motor wires. Eesh. I don't know. Nobody's making a 4-inch racing frame. I mean, someone probably is, but I don't know who they are. 4-inch is a pretty It's not as there was a brief window of time where people made a bunch of 4-inch frames, and it seemed like maybe 4-inch was going to be a thing, but then it turned out it wasn't. It turns out 5-inch and 3.5-inch really are where people landed. So I would be looking for like a 3.5-inch racing frame. Then you won't have to extend your motor wires, and 3.5-inch props are almost as good as 4-inch, right? But I can't think of a good 4-inch racing frame that's going to really sort you out. For 3-inch, like the Happy Model Crux 3.5 is one people like a lot. Though I don't know if you're going to want that exact form factor. What's the Beta FPV Twig? I really hated the Beta FPV Twig, to be honest with you. No offense intended. I actually... No. This is the one I hated. The one I hated was the 5-inch. I really hated that 5-inch version of this. The 4 might be fine. Could you not buy this anymore? Why don't you just buy this? Why don't you just buy this? No, it's only the quad. Haha, screw you. You can't get it anymore. Is that how it is? Twig 3. Ah, bingo. Here you go. Why don't you just... No, it's out of stock. You're boned. Yeah. I don't know anyone who's making a frame like this in 4 inches. The 3.5-inch scythe racing frame. I think you're going to have to go to a 3.5. And that's just life. That's not very similar to the one he's looking for. I mean, it could be a good frame. The Crux 3.5 is somewhat similar to what he's... No, it's not that similar. That one's not that similar either. It's close. The Crux 3.5 is like kind of close. Samuel Polden wants individual arms. I don't know, dude. I don't know about that. Especially in that size, I think they're mostly unibodies. Riet9 suggests the TBS Pod Racer 4. Use my affiliate link. No. The Power Pick 4, says Mike Bergman. Oh, Mike Bergman is on it. Thank you, Mike. Apparently, there's more 4 inches than I thought. The FPV Cycle Power Pick 4. Ooh. And it has separate arms. Oh, that's the 5. No, the 4 does too. Okay. Winning. The FPV Cycle Power Pick 4. Hell yeah. There you go. That's the one for you.